Jacksonville.
Attention. Attention.
They are not ready for prime time.
Prime time.
Prime time.
Prime time. That's the name.
Prime time.
Prime time.
What time is it? Showtime prime time.
It's XL Prime Time, featuring Joe C.,
I reduced my toilet paper down to 3 squares.
Matt Hayes,
Big asses and big thighs, yeah.
and Leon Searcy.
Bringing you love, peace, and soul.
Whoa, it's steamy out there. Steamy.
Yes.
What a hot day for the first day of OTAs with the Jaguars down there at the Miller Electric Center. What a first day. It's XLP. I'm Matt Hayes. He's Leon Searcy. JJ's got covering us there. Back at the studio. We are at Hidden Hills Live for the Guggen Open. It's hot, man. It is hot. And that's we're going to get deep into the OTAs today, okay? There's no doubt about that. We'll talk a little college football as well. We got Denny Thompson coming up in the second hour, quarterback guru. We'll get into him with the quarterbacks there as well as some college football stuff. It's a Macama Monday on XLP, brought to you by our good friends at Macama Beer Company in beautiful Fernandina Beach. Leon, we were both out there.
Yeah, we were.
We got as they call it, the grass, Leon.
Yeah, I mean, it was hot because of you, to be honest with you, because initially we were rooftop by a fan sitting in the chair.
We were.
And you wanted to go on the field. You know what I'm saying? I understand that, Matt Hayes. They already laid it out for us. Table, chair, fan. Hey, bro, let's go down on the field.
I kind of guilted you into that, didn't I?
You guilted me a little bit.
So we went down. We got down. By the way, so we had to leave a little early because we had to get back for the show. So I get in my car, and the temperature in my car now, again, it's a little hotter because it's in the car. 110 degrees.
Yeah.
Then I'm thinking those guys are out there running around for another hour. So they just recently stopped. They probably stopped a little earlier, about 1:45. In fact, we're going to have some audio from that. Jay just busy cutting it up right now from Trevor Lawrence and from head coach Liam Cohen. But Leon, your initial thoughts of OTAs day one, first time they're back in the field since they ended that just horrific 4-13 season.
Yeah. Well, listen, I mean, it's hard to evaluate guys in shirts and shorts. I usually call them diapers.
And helmets.
And helmets, or whatever. But you know what? It was good to see the guys back on the field. You know, listen, when you have OTAs like this, all you're looking for is energy and effort. Right. All right? You're looking for guys moving around, knowing what they're doing. The one thing that I can appreciate about this new regime compared to what they were a couple of years ago is that everybody's working.
Tempo, too. Man,
everybody's working. You know, I said last year, it looked like they were by a water cooler talking to the amount of rest time these guys got. because when I'm just talking about the offensive line.
Yeah.
The offensive line was repeated reps. I mean, no wasted motions, no wasted time, and they were getting after it pretty good. So I can appreciate this regime.
And that bothers the hell out of you.
It does.
For the last few years when they've been standing there watching
around,
just
reps. Chilling, having conversations, all that kind of stuff. It irritated me, really did, because I can appreciate every rep is important. And that's what I think this new regime is doing, this new coaching staff. I noticed that the offensive line were getting reps. Everybody was getting reps, right? You either were getting the rep or you were holding the bag, and it was constant motion, so I could appreciate that. And, I got a first glimpse of Travis Hunter out there.
Yeah.
Ran a nice little ride, nice little break, caught the ball. You know, I hope there's a lot of that. I hope there's a lot of quick throws to quick stuff to Travis Hunter.
Yards after catch.
And I noticed that, wherever he's going to be playing, more than likely he's going to be playing in the slot. A lot of motion, moving, that kind of stuff, whatever. So, yeah, it was good for the first day of practice. Now, one thing I did notice, too, and we both were talking about the fact that there was a lot of hands on hips. A lot of these players, from other places, they're going to have to get acclimated to the heat in Jacksonville real fast. Real fast.
It was unseasonably warm out there, I will tell you that. For mid-May, for the temperatures to be in the 90s, the mid-90s, I don't know what it was on that grass. It had to be a lot hotter. But, yeah, my guess is it got very uncomfortable very quickly for them.
It did.
But I'm all right with that. I'm all right with them. This is where it starts, where it begins. And the one thing that kept going through my mind there, and we'll talk about this as well throughout the show, throughout this week, actually, as the OTAs continue. They're not beholden to anybody on that team. Only the guys they drafted. Anybody else, you better work. You better work, and you better work hard. People are running around, Leon. They're running from station to station, period to period. The tempo is different. I think it's the idea. I think now it's okay. Number one, there's definitely a new sheriff in town, and number two, the new sheriff doesn't have to like you.
True, facts.
And I think that's kind of like setting the tone right now.
Yeah, but you don't need to be liked by the coach either. I'm sure TC didn't like me, but guess what? I went to work every day. I put in work. Absolutely, I put in work, and that's what it's all about. Not about the coaching staff likes, but they're going to be partial to the guys they brought in. So if you're a guy from an old regime, you're going to have to impress. There are no locks, absolutely no locks. And I was looking at the first person I was looking at as far as not a lock was your guy, Walker Little. Fred Johnson is a big dude, bro.
Yeah, Walker Little's kind of slowly going off my guy list.
I'm just saying. Listen, there's going to be a definite, and this. You know, I might be jumping the fence a little bit here, but I'm just saying, when I saw Fred Johnson, I said, man, that's a big cat, bro.
It's a big
That is
man.
a big human being. And if he can play, he's got long arms. I haven't seen him in any gameplay or doing any drills. I mean, but if he started 6 games for the Philadelphia Eagles, they were confident enough to put him in there, the Super Bowl champions. I mean, you got to tilt your hat to him. So Walker Little is going to have to impress. And yeah, man, I like your boy Wyatt.
Yeah, Milam.
Big dude.
Milam.
I like him.
Yeah.
Big dude. Real big dude. He's got a shot. I mean, the whole offensive line came in, looked like they were in pretty good shape. You know, some of the drills they were doing. You know, I was watching them with the get-offs and the push and climb to the next level, watching the feet. I saw medicine ball toss and all that kind of stuff. The one thing I mentioned to you about Walker Little that I'm concerned with that he needs to work with, there was a couple of times he was just working on the bags. He has a tendency, and this happens in games, he has a tendency to catch and try to bench press people off him. Instead
and push.
Of try to put, instead of just getting extension on the initial blow. Yeah. So, I mean, that's the kind of stuff that, you know, this is the reason why you go into OTAs, because those kind of things you can work on in practice.
All right, speaking of the Eagles, another thing we're going to get into today is the NFL's close to outlawing the tush push. So I'm going to get your thoughts on that. We'll get your thoughts on the text line as well, brought to you by our good friends at Lifetime Enclosures, 641-1010. You want to talk about that or anything else with the Jags and OTA related? We're going to get into all the positions, give you our thoughts on this as well. Let's circle back, Leon, to the O-line, because to me, that's the prime example of they're not beholden to anybody. Yes, Walker Little just got a deal last year. Yes, Ezra Cleveland got a deal last year. Those guys do not have jobs. They don't. They just don't. I don't think any of them do, actually. I don't think Anton Harrison does. They picked up a couple tackles that they think can help them. And if that means that they're gonna go instead of the stars they had, then I think you're gonna see that. Look, at the end of the day, Leon, and you can speak this because you're a former player. I think and coaches say this all the time. A coach's greatest gift that he has in his back pocket that he can always use, trump card, whatever you want to call it, is the bench. So these guys, they need to feel a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, the bench can provide inspiration. You know, and
there's nothing wrong with being uncomfortable with your job,
absolutely.
whether you got it or not.
No, especially. I mean, listen, Walker Little or Anton Harrison hasn't done anything over the last couple of years to ensure that their position is a lock. You know, when you come off a 4-13 team, obviously them going into free agent, bringing in I call them serviceable guys who have been starters at the tackle position. You bring them in, you know, didn't cost you that much, you know, and you shuffle the cards and you see if you can pull an ace or two.
Yeah,
and I'm all right with that. I'm absolutely all right with that. I want the best 5 offensive linemen to play.
Or if you motivate one of the guys who's there,
yes,
that's expected to be your star. I don't mind that either.
And if I'm a coach, maybe offensive line coach or the head coach, I bring in Walker Little, I bring in Anton Harrison, and let them know that this is a free for all. This is a competition. You got to go out here this summer, then win your position. There are no locks. If I'm Liam Cohen, I'm going into the offensive line meeting room and saying that it's wide open. Everybody is wide open as far as positions go, and whoever it's like best in show.
Yeah.
Whoever performs the best is going to play for us.
I mean, honestly, Leon, Chumadoga, who they picked up, he's got nice feet, man. He's quick, and you know, I know people are thinking, well, it's Anton Harrison, that's his job. Here's the thing. People talk about Walker Little never winning a job. Ezra Cleveland never won a job either. They just put him there at left guard. Frankly, Anton Harrison never won a job. If you think about it, because of the suspension for Cam, he was drafted specifically because they had no other choice.
True.
So you've got guys in that line that have never won jobs. Now you've got Macari, he's not going to battle for a job. That's his job, the right guard, right? Hainsey's going to be given the center position. I think there should be. Let's get after it, man. Let's see what you guys got out there.
Yeah, and listen,
everybody, not just the left guard spot. Everybody.
Listen, good competition breeds success. I mean, you don't want guys around here comfortable. You absolutely you want guys every day thinking that every day their job is on the line and they're battling. They're battling in camp and one-on-ones and team and inside run and goal line and all that kind of stuff. And then when the preseason comes, you're battling again. And the coaching staff they want to see who's getting better and who's getting worse, and they're making these kind of evaluations on film or who's going to be the best set. And don't get me wrong, too. I mean, Trevor may have some say so, and especially at the left tackle or maybe at both tackle positions because, they're protecting his front and blind side. You know what I'm saying?
He's also on year 5, man. This is it for him, baby.
Absolutely. So I think it's good. I think that Liam coming in here and them going to free agency and bringing those guys in and letting everybody know that this is going to be a hefty competition at the offensive line. I mean, you can say what you want to say about all the skill positions and running backs and Trevor Lawrence, but the most important part of your offense is your offensive line, your ability to protect and run the ball. And there's no, in my opinion, I may be biased because I played the position 11 years, your first 5 that you pick to play moving forward is probably one of the, outside of getting your quarterback, is probably the most important positions on the offensive front.
So overlooked. And it's they're doing individual drills right now, and it's hard to see who could make an impact or who looks like they're different. I don't think any of them look different physically. Honestly, I was kind of hoping that maybe Javon Foster would get a little bigger. I was kind of hoping that maybe Ezra Cleveland would get a little bigger. His calves are no bigger than mine still. I was kind of hoping for a little physical development. That can still happen over the next 3 months. There's no doubt about that. But this is kind of what they are right now. And you're seeing bag work out there. And so I guess my question, Leon, is as a former offensive lineman, how much can you get done in OTAs and how much can the staff see in OTAs where it's just helmets and shorts and a shirt where they think, all right, this is what our line's probably going to be?
Well, as far as your question, you didn't see anybody get bigger. Trust me, bro, when you play in this type of weather, this heat, me playing in Jacksonville and Miami, bro, the muscle weight wilts away. Okay? The hell with muscle weight. You need to be like a camel. Just throw water.
Right.
I'm saying, as far as them putting on mass, bro, I don't care how much mass you put on in the offseason. When you get in this weather, bro, it welts away. Absolutely. So, and as far as the drills and stuff goes, how much can you can't really make an assessment on who's your starters right now because all you're doing is individual stuff.
Right.
Now, when we get into the pads or we get into the uppers or whatever it may be, you're going to be paying attention to guys who are executing at a very high level, whether it be the guards and the centers working together well, whether it be the tackles and the centers working well, and effectively how they're looking against our defense. So, you can't really make it about – because right now all they're doing is individual stuff. And everything on air, not really touching anybody.
Right.
But what you are looking for is, like I said earlier, when we started the show, energy and effort. You're looking for energy and effort. You're looking for guys who want to be out there, that's putting forth the energy and executing at a high level.
If you're just looking at this group off the hoof, Anton Harrison is a specimen. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
He even got a little bigger, I think. He's a physical dude. You put him and Fred Johnson as your tackles. Macari's got good size too, man. He
does.
You get Wyatt Milam there at left guard, and Hainsey's also Hainsey's a big dude too. I didn't think he was that big.
No.
I saw him out there. I was like, all right,
he's got a nice size.
Yeah,
too.
he does. He does. He's one of those big ass, big thighs guys. So I think potentially, if these guys, if these guys are motivated by the idea of they're not beholden to anybody, you got a chance to have a decent line.
And this part of the year is when the front 5 need to be close. All right, because you're going to be depending on each other so much. watching film, lifting weights together, working out together, hell, even going out together.
Yeah.
Because you gotta have that connection between those guys early now, so then when the season rolls around, it's like second nature to you. All right. When it was me, Tilsky, Dave, Ben, and Tony, that's what we did. When we came in '96, we tried to do everything together.
Right.
All right, especially me and Tilsky. Me and Tilsky watched film together, worked out together, hung out together because
you're on the same side of the line.
We're on the same side of the line.
Right.
So we had to have that. We had to be in sync. We were like fat synchronized swimmers. Okay, that's what we were. That's what we were. That's what we wanted to be because we had both verbal and nonverbal communications with each other. Sometimes we would break the huddle and me and Tilsky would look at each other and be like, that means, we about to put in some work. Like
right.
we knew it. Like on a double team, we didn't have to say double team. You know what? When we broke the huddle, we looked at each other like, let's go.
All right, I'm going to get into that because that's if you think about it, you could be in a situation where you've got a new left guard, a new left tackle, a new right guard, and then Anton Harrison at right tackle, and a new center. There's a lot of your guy, your guy on your right, your guy on your left, and you know who they are, and you know what they're going to do, and that's such a key to the offensive line. We're getting into all the position battles. Big day out there, first day OTAs. Come back, we'll get deep into it. It's XLP.
The action. The motion.
You see that acceleration.
Feel the active emotion of live play-by-play.
It's amazing how much energy.
On 1010XL.
Just when you thought we couldn't bring you more, Keon Atlantic is here with a brand new store. We have the same great team to treat you well, with new savings during our grand opening sale. Keon Atlantic is here with the new store. Shop our best offers and largest selection yet. Save big during our grand opening sale. Is there something for everyone on our lot? You bet. If you're ready to experience something new, the all-new Keon Atlantic is ready for you. Your perfect ride is a visit away. Online at KeonAtlantic.com. Keon Atlantic, your coastal Kia connection.
When the unexpected happens, you shouldn't have to face it alone. I'm Chris Campione, and at Campione Law, we're here to fight for you. Whether it's an auto accident or a slip and fall, our Jacksonville team takes care of every detail, from investigating the incident to securing multi-million-dollar verdicts, so you can focus on getting better. And remember, you don't pay a dime unless we win your case. Our commitment is 24/7, bringing you the real support from real people who really care. Campione Law, your dedicated partners in justice. Visit CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione, Campione Law.
AA Automotive helps keep your vehicle in dependable and safe condition. Call Sam, Harry, or Joe, and they'll check your brakes, tires, fluids, electric, and motor, so your ride runs smooth on the road. That's AA Automotive on Richard Street.
Cool Cats Heating and Cooling, the coolest cats in town, setting the standard in our hometown. Quality service, the best around. Coolidge is the cat that cares about your heating and about your air. Cool Cats Heating and Cooling, the coolest cats in town.
Hey, poker players, the Poker Atlas Tour is back at Best Bet St. Augustine from June 5th to June 15th. The Poker Atlas Tour features 7 events, including Event 1, a $300 no-limit hold'em tournament with a $100,000 guarantee, and the $600 no-limit hold'em title event with a $200,000 guaranteed prize pool. Satellites start May 17th. For more details, visit bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
We're certainly facing interesting economic times. For me, it's comforting to know my money's in good hands with ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. Experience? Yeah, that's Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, Scott Regner, Janice Cobb, and Reed Wingate. They have the expertise and knowledge to take care of your money. For more info, go to ITPPartners.com. ITP Partners, they're my financial partners for life.
Non-compensated client testimonial may not be representative of all client experiences. No guarantee of future performance or success.
1010XL is the home of Gator Nation and the Gator Bites podcast presented by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. I'm Hacker, and we keep you connected with the University of Florida all year long. Get Gator Bites where you find podcasts.
Brian and Angela Wall here with Window World. You've heard us talk about it. Window World, the #1 window replacement company in the USA, selling over 1 million windows each year for the past 8 years.
That's a lot of satisfied customers, and why J.D. Powers has awarded Window World Best in Customer Satisfaction 3 out of 4 years.
Window World stands behind their slogan, simply the best for less. With Window World, you get top quality windows at a price that leaves more of your money in your bank account, and you get the absolute best guarantee there is in the window replacement industry. When compared to our competition, there is none. See for yourself. Call the competition. Get quotes from them. But before you buy, get Window World's free estimate and compare the quality of the windows and the price.
You'll see.
And when your new Window World windows are installed and they're saving you money on your energy bills, if anything goes wrong with those windows, Window World and I will be there to make it right. That's my guarantee.
Call Window World today. Start saving money on your new windows and your energy bills, and take vacation with your savings. Window World, online at windowworldneflorida.com.
Window World, simply the best for less. Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors and siding.
Hacker here with an opportunity. Drop 40 pounds by the 4th. You can do it. I dropped my first 40 in 6 weeks. Hayes did it, Dempsey, Ballou, and thousands of others have done it. 40 by the 4th with Awaken180weightloss.com.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Spring has sprung, and so have the bugs. It's Hayes Carline and my friends at Kingfish Pest Control offer an exclusive $99 spring special. That's right, your initial pest control service is just $99. And if you call today, they'll include a free one-time mosquito treatment. Kingfish Pest Control is family-owned, 5-star rated with no binding contracts, and 100% satisfaction guarantee. Call them now to book your service. Only at Kingfish Pest Control, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Jumbo Shrimp Baseball is home this week at the newly renovated Vistar Ballpark. The Jumbo Shrimp take on the AAA St. Louis Cardinals. Tomorrow is Purr in the Park, followed by Wear It Home Wednesday t-shirt giveaway. Then it's Coors Light Thirsty Thursday and Fireworks Friday, Saturday, and Sunday on our first Honey Drippers weekend. Baseball all weekend. Tickets start at just $5. JackShrimp.com for tickets. Jumbo Shrimp Baseball, affordable family fun.
10XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
I really like it. It has a lot of answers. It's great. I mean, it puts a lot on the players. You have to know your stuff, but it gives you all the answers. You don't feel like you're stuck in a play that's not set up for success. It gives us a lot of answers, and we change the presentation a lot. We make a lot of things look the same. There's a whole lot of, without going into too much detail, there's a lot of things that I like about it, and it's definitely unlike any system that I've learned before. So it's been cool to learn and just pick the coach's brains and try to get it down as fast as possible.
Do you have it? You have to take a test to pass it?
Yeah, I mean, we don't have everything in yet. We build up to that, but from what we have in so far, yeah, I would hope so. That's what I've been working to try to get it all down. I feel good about it. Just got to now take it from knowing it to second nature. To where you don't think about it. You hear the play call, you spit it out, you go play, and you play fast, and you're not thinking about it. That's always kind of the transition when you learn a system. You got to get it down to where you can just react.
Mondays on XL Primetime, brought to you by Mokama. Check out their great craft in the tap room at Fernandina Beach.
All right, we're back on XLP. It is a Mokama Monday. Mokama Beer Company, beautiful Fernandina Beach. Head out there. Great stuff out there. Beers, coffee, everything. Fantastic place. All right, Leon, we are back here at the Guggen Open. And I wanted to get in. I'm glad that we JJ came back with that sound from Trevor Lawrence, because I wanted to talk about the offense, because initially it didn't look that good. It's day one. There's a lot of drop balls and fumbles, and so that stuff can be understood. But what Trevor was saying there, that he likes the system, the fact that he said there's an answer for everything, and I like that. I like the fact that a quarterback can go to the line of scrimmage and see, all right, we're in the wrong play, but then he knows he has an answer for that, and he knows he can get them into the right play. Whereas last year, number one, it didn't seem that way just from watching them. But number two, after hearing the way Trevor said that, he kind of intimated that maybe there weren't answers last year.
He took a shot.
Yeah,
absolutely took a shot. I mean, but yeah, he said that there's answers to all the, he basically gets all the answers to the test. Is that he said that's what this offense is. And then he made a remark about the fact that he was in situations last year where they didn't have an answer.
Right.
And maybe they're going to give him that flexibility to be able to, if he sees something that he doesn't like, he's able to change it and go to something else. So, I mean, but now knowing that, Trevor, pressure's on you now, buddy. If you got all the answers to the test. I'm saying when you say you got all the answers to the test, right?
Yeah,
that's what he's saying.
That's pretty much what I think what he meant was whenever there's a problem, I've got an answer.
Okay.
I've got at least now I have an answer. That's why it sounded like he was kind of taking, whether he was or he wasn't.
Yeah.
It kind of sounds like, well, last year when there were problems, I didn't have all the answers.
Didn't have all the answers.
And maybe it wasn't I didn't have all the answers. Maybe it was more they didn't have the answers to give me. Now, again, that's, you've got, it's easy to say that when it's you've moved on, you have new staff and all
everybody
of that.
Everybody gets parting shots when they leave, all right? So that was a parting shot. And that was applauding the new regime and the fact that it's early and their answers to every situation defensively that he may see.
Yeah.
And he'll be given that opportunity to answer those questions when he's in the game.
Yeah, and the thing is, too, Leon, and I was thinking about this when we were watching that, is we were watching the first day of OTAs there out at the Miller Electric Center, is they've done basically everything they could possibly do to help him.
Oh, yeah!
Him being Trevor Lawrence, as E.T. walks in the show. It's an E.T. show now. They've done everything they could. They've upgraded the offensive line, at least they think they have. Okay? They've got De'Ami Brown, who looks silky smooth out there. Now, he dropped a couple balls early, but he looks like a guy that I think can be an impact player for them. A guy that can maybe catch 50, 60 balls and be a legit threat on the outside. He will play on the outside. Bashal Tuden can run. That dude is quick.
He is quick.
He is quick. I keep saying this, and I'm going to keep saying it. One of those two guys is getting traded. I don't know who it is, but one of those two guys, either Etienne or how can I'm blanking on his name.
Tank?
Yes.
Yes.
Tank Bigsby.
Tank Bigsby.
Golly, Etienne or Tank is getting. I would think if you're going between the two, you're probably going to trade Etienne.
Yeah, more than likely.
With him.
Because he has to have the contract.
Right. So you've got. My point is, they've put pieces around him. Obviously, with Travis Hunter now, he comes to the podium. The first thing he says is, "I've got all the answers." Now, again, I know that's just plaudits for the new staff, and I get that. Okay. But he's going out there and saying, look, I really like the offense. I really like what it looks like. I love the fact that I've got an answer for everything right now. So it's all set up for him now. And it's year 5 now. Now it's almost as if he doesn't become that guy you think he can be, your 39 touchdown guy, which I think is just crazy because his career high in the previous 4 years is 25.
It's May, Matt.
It is May.
It is May.
But if he doesn't take a significant step and show the kind of player that they thought he was when they drafted him 1 overall, then it's almost like, all right, it's now on you.
Well, Matt, I mean, when you come to the podium and say you got all the answers to the tests that you probably previously didn't have, there could be no uncertainty now because you just told us that. You told us that you
laid it out.
You just laid it out that now you have the answers to the tests. So there can't be any uncertainty. He's got to play at an elevated level this year.
Right.
I mean, now don't get me wrong. There are compartments that are going to play well for him as well.
Right.
Line, running game,
offensive line at the top.
Offensive line at the very top.
Right.
And then wide receivers and all that other kind of stuff. So, but listen, you don't make that kind of statement like that if you don't want the pressure on yourself, because you just said it. If you have the answers to the test, and you said last year you did not.
That's what you're intimating.
That's what you're intimating.
Yes.
He's saying basically last year that when there was a situations where he needed answers, they didn't have them for him. He's saying now with the new regime, early on, he understands now that he has the answers to the situations that he's going to see, and now He's got the cheat code. So now, and but listen, I like that. I like the fact that Trevor is putting the pressure on himself, because ultimately that's what you do when you make that kind of statement. You're saying it's on me. I have the answers to the test.
That's 100% what he's saying.
Yes,
right now.
I have the answers to the test. So if you got all the answers to the test, you better grade out.
He not only has the answers to the test now, allegedly, he's got the cheat code at number 12 in the slide.
There you go.
Right?
That part.
He's got that, the PlayStation cheat code, and he's got one of the 10 best receivers in the league on the outside. They added a free agent in De'Ami Brown, who, again, just day one, I get it. He looks fluid, man. He looks silky out there, didn't he?
Yeah, and don't listen. Don't worry about the drops now, or this is no different than a boxer who has to spar. All right, he's gonna get hit. He's gonna get punched. But that's all in the training. The drops, the fumbles. I mean, the missed assignments, all because they got a new playbook.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're going to be bust. They're going to be bust up front. They're going to be busting routes and all that kind of stuff. That's why you have OTAs. Now, if they're busting and dropping balls and stuff like that late into training camp, then there should be some concern. But this is where you make your mistakes now. OTAs, this is where you make the mistakes, the drop balls, the busted assignments, because they're all a new system, new terminologies, all that kind of stuff, maybe new as far as wide receiver formation combinations and all that kind of different stuff. So this is the part where they learn. So I don't mind too much when I see guys dropping balls or fumbling and all that kind of stuff, because I understand the heat in the field is their sparring partner.
Right.
You know, and they're going to take a hit every now and then, whatever. No. Only time I'll be concerned is late in training camp.
Right. Now, I will say this in Trevor's defense is every single year he's got a different wide receiver combination. Every year. And, again, this year, and now again, you're talking about an elite addition, or at least an expected elite addition with Travis Hunter. An elite addition last year with Brian Thomas Jr., who ended up being just a terrific player who had a huge season, despite the fact that Trevor Lawrence missed, the last 8 games, right?
Yeah.
8 games of the season. He's out there making huge plays with Mac Jones as quarterback.
Exactly.
So I think the receiving core this year, you now know who your 4 are. The 5, I don't think it matters. The 5 is going to be a 4-core special teams guy anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Be like a Tim Jones type guy. You now know who your 4 are, and you should be very confident in those 4. Brian Thomas Jr. on one outside, De'Ami Brown on the other outside, the slot with Travis Hunter, and Parker Washington's your 4. So you know what you've got now, and he should know what he has now. It's all like starting to come together. And again, Brenton Strange is not Evan Ingram, not even close. And I think that I've been saying from the day that they let go of Evan Ingram, they were going to regret that. But let's see what happens. Let's see what happens with Brenton Strange.
Yeah, that's the one guy when they say they were releasing, I was like, really? Evan Ingram, bro, because Evan Ingram's not a tight end, he's a flex, in my opinion. I mean, I don't care. I always tell this story. I used to tell Pete Mitchell all the time, I don't care about you blocking, Pete. All right, your job is not to block. Get your butt in the route. Give me a little corner, and then get your butt in the route. You know, so that's what Evan Ingram was. I mean, he's not going to be anybody that's going to bull those guys over. He's the guy that you create mismatches with him. You flex him out. A linebacker got to go, or a safety got to drop down, and I'll take Evan Ingram over a linebacker and a safety any day.
Right.
And that's what Brenton Strange. I'm not sure the particulars of the offense or how they're going to run it. But, I mean, he's got to become that guy. He's got to become that guy where if he's on the line of scrimmage and they flex him out, and the same linebacker goes outside and covers him, or they drop the safety, he's got to create opportunities where he's a mismatch.
Right.
And I'm not sure from just what I've seen, because I've seen Evan Ingram do it.
Right.
But just the sample size, the small sample size I've seen to Brenton Strange, I'm not sure he's that guy right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. All right. So when this franchise was in its heyday, in your time, you had Jimmy and Keenan. At what point does Trevor feel like, all right, these are my guys. I feel comfortable with these guys. I know we're in good shape. And not only Trevor, but the rest of the offense, too. Like you, as an offensive lineman, you knew you had faith in the guys on the outside, right? Not only to catch the ball, but actually get open, which is a huge thing.
Well, Jimmy, Keenan, and Burnell had they had a relationship on the sideline where there were times where those three only met, and I was able to listen to them, Jimmy and Keenan, tell Mark, "Hey, this is what this guy struggles with. Give me this route because I know I can beat him on it."
Right.
When Trevor gets comfortable with Brian Thomas and Travis Hunter, when they get to that point, they'll have those kind of conversations. But that takes reps. Jimmy and Keaton had already been in the league for a minute. But they knew. Because Jimmy was outside, sometimes Keenan was outside, maybe in the slot, and they would come and have conversations with Brew, like, "Hey, Brew, man, this guy can't cover me on this certain route. Man, give me this route right here on the comedy." And Brew listened. He listened to both of them because he knew that if we gave him time, and those two guys were able to run the routes they knew they could beat people on, we were going to score touchdowns.
That's also part of chemistry, too.
Yes, yes.
Because you spoke earlier about the offensive line, the chemistry, and you know who your guy is. You know the guy to your left. You know the guy to your right. It's the same way in the passing game, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've got to have the understanding of, okay, he's going to be here. He will be there when I throw it there.
Yeah.
Whereas, a perfect example is Calvin Ridley.
Yeah.
He wasn't there half the time.
True.
And you can see how frustrating it was for Trevor.
Yeah.
So I think that's also part of his growth and development, too.
Yeah, well, it's not only chemistry, but it's also got to be trust. So the reason why Mark could listen to Jimmy and Keenan about the different route combinations they could beat people on is because he had seen them do it so often in big games and big times when we needed them.
Right.
So, that's going to have to come to a situation where Travis Hunter and Brian Thomas do it on the big stage to where Trevor trusts him enough to where he say, "Hey, listen, give me this route combination because I know I can beat this guy." That just comes with playing more games and developing the chemistry that they're going to need to have the success that they want.
I feel like, and we need to go to break, but I want to get this real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like at the end of 22, why it looks so good is I kind of feel like that Trevor knew where those guys were going to be. He knew where Zay Jones was going to be, right? He knew where Christian Kirk was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys made plays because they knew, all right, I got to break off this route here. When he's break contain, I'm breaking off the route. Boom.
Mm-hmm.
The game against the Cowboys, the deep throw to Zay Jones when he broke off that route.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like that. Like we're not seeing that right now, and I think that's critical.
Those conversations are being said on the sideline.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
And that's how he knew to throw that ball to Zay because they probably had probably told him, "Hey, listen, this guy's going to bite on this situation right here. Look for me deep."
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Those little things that we don't see that are just so important, right?
Exactly.
All right, we need to go to break. I want to get into, there's a story out in the NFL circles right now. It looks like the tush push may be eliminated from the league. I want to get Leon's thoughts on that. We can get your thoughts on the text line, too, 641-1010. It's XLP. We'll be right back.
You know what we're talking about. You played the game.
I think you did when you should have dagged on that face.
1010XL, Jacksonville Sports Radio.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
David Lane here, and once again, I'm happy to share news of my success with back and knee surgeries at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. Whatever it is that's bothering you, take it from me. Simply set an appointment today at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists and let them help you get back to normal life. I'm certainly glad I did.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Mike Dempsey, and now's the time to get your roof hurricane ready with Apex Roofing and Contracting of Jacks Beach. Look, our rainy season is no joke, and if your roof's got damage, leaks, or it's just plain worn out, don't wait. Apex is local, dependable, and will show up on time using only premium materials with ironclad warranties. No shortcuts, no stress, just quality work you can trust. Skip the storm season scramble. Reach for the peak with Apex Roofing and Contracting in Jacks Beach or visit apexroofingfl.com.
Maxed out on credit cards? Struggling with high interest debt? you could pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. Hey, it's Prosser here. Get cash out now without touching your low-rate first mortgage. No appraisals, no waiting, no BS. The Rapid Equity Loan Program at Loan Pronto is amazing. One Loan Pronto client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. They paid off debt, renovated their kitchen, and cut their monthly expenses by $1,800. That's a huge turnaround. Instant approvals, low rates, no hard credit pull up front. That's Loan Pronto. Listen, your home equity is yours. Use it. Get cash to consolidate your debt down to one easy, low monthly payment. Call Loan Pronto now for a free instant appraisal for your home and see how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto is an A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau and have nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Call now and start the conversation. Go to loanpronto.com or call 999-1508. That's loanpronto.com. As a contractor, finding reliable subcontractors is key to project success. Prosser here. Guys, that's where Lloyd's Heating and Air shines. Not just your mechanical HVAC experts, but your partner, understanding every facet of construction to keep your project on track. Lloyd's will spot issues early before they cause delays. If you're a contractor with a need for reliability, visit LloydsHeatingandAir.com. Lloyd's Heating and Air, keeping you comfortable in every season.
Join us at Miller Electric May 29th from 4 to 7 p.m. We're on the lookout for talented people, from entry-level to experienced electricians and foremen, security system installation and service technicians, fire alarm system service technicians, and both senior and junior VDV technicians. This is your chance to get hired on the spot. Meet the managers, indulge in delicious food, and snag some awesome giveaways. Don't miss out on this electrifying chance to power up your career. Miller Electric, May 29th, 4 to 7 p.m., 6805 South Point Parkway.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On May 19, 2019, at the PGA Championship at Bethpage State Park, defending champion Brooks Koepka leads wire to wire, winning his 4th major championship.
Hello, I'm attorney Malcolm Anthony. Being charged with domestic violence can turn your life upside down. If you're in trouble, call me, Malcolm Anthony, at 285-4LAW. That's 285-4LAW.
The 2025 season schedule has dropped, and single-game tickets are on sale now. Be at the bank to watch Travis Hunter, Trevor Lawrence, and the Jaguars take on the biggest names in the NFL. Don't miss your favorite matchup and secure your tickets now by visiting jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. See you this fall, Jags fans.
Yes, sir. That's the best decision. I love it.
Life is just so busy this time of year. Between work, the kids' games, family vacations, I need a yard hero to free up my weekends.
You mean somebody who does mowing and trimming?
Yeah.
How about mosquito control?
Yeah.
What about irrigation and pet waste removal?
You do that too? You're my lawn hero.
Find your lawn hero at heroeslawncare.com. Heroes Lawn Care, because every lawn needs a hero.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
All right, the Philadelphia Eagles have agreed to a multi-year extension with head coach Nick Sirianni. The team announced Monday. According to Jeffrey Lurie in a statement, Eagles owner said, quote, "Nothing is more important than fostering such an environment than having tremendous leadership. Nick has embodied everything we were looking for in a head coach since we hired him 4 years ago." Interesting. Sirianni's 48-20, 706 winning percentage. Pretty good, Leon.
That's pretty good.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah, see what winning does for you? He went from last year arguing with the fans. Remember that?
Yes.
With the fans. You win the Super Bowl. Life is good, bro. Life is good.
But that's also, I think, an indicator of how quickly things can turn in the league, you know? Like, if you get the right coach, the right staff, the right people, everybody rowing and pulling into the same direction, you've got a chance to be different, to be unique. You're not that far away. I just think, like, the difference, and you played it, so you know this, man.
Yeah.
The difference in the NFL between a 6-11 team or a team that's 9-8 and fighting to get into the playoff, but to win the division is minute, right? It's a thin line.
Yeah, and I like Sirianni. He has a little edge to him. You know, I played with Cowher and I played with Tom, you know. I mean, these were feisty guys. You know, they cared about the game of football. And how your team looked was a reflection on them.
Yeah.
You know? So, I mean, yeah, I like the fact that, you know, both those guys, I was fortunate enough to be coached by Bill Cowher and Tom Coughlin because they were guys that were on the edge. And, you know, they let you know in the meeting room, they let you know on the field. It was all about accountability. We're going to play this way. We're going to be tough-nosed, physical. We're not going to make mistakes. We're going to take care of the football. You want a coach like that.
Cohen's a little feisty. Liam Cohen is definitely a little feisty.
You mean he's not like, what was Doug's thing, the meditative type of Doug?
No, he's not like feelings and
he's not like
ice cream and
light incense and stuff like that.
In fact, JJ's working on this sound right now. He was asked about the offense today, and they, you know, how the offense looks. And he's like, let's play it right now, JJ. Thanks.
No, not good. You know, we're not good. We're trying to get better, right? I mean, we're not even close. You know, we're working towards, you know, playing in September, obviously. And so at this point, it is strictly how much can we actually learn from every day. We're not evaluating, you know, maybe some of the things that you would normally evaluate in a game, right, or in the season. It's like, how many mental errors did we have? How much can we continue to be disciplined with our communication, formations, alignment, assignment? Are we going to catch every ball and throw every ball out here in the first day of Phase 3? I would assume not. But more in terms of the operation, the communication, are we understanding what we're trying to get accomplished out of the calls? It's a learning phase, not necessarily a competitive phase. And do you want to be cleaner? Absolutely. Do you want it to look perfect? Yes, we all do. That's just not the reality at this phase, this time in this phase.
I like that.
Yeah.
Open and honest.
Yeah.
They asked him a question about the offense and how he said, well, we good? No, we're not good. Absolutely love that. Being honest about it. And it's going to take some time. New offense, new plays, new breakdowns, terminology, route combinations, all that kind of stuff. He came out of the press. Remember his first presser, he said that Trevor's got to work on his feet.
Yeah.
And this type of offense, his feet's got to be better. And I'm sure he's taking note of that. He's taking note of Trevor and his dropbacks, his steps, and all that kind of stuff. And I'm sure he's coaching him on the fly. Hey, Trevor, you got to work on this, and that. It's got the ball's got. So that's just all the process of OTAs is all about. I mean, while we're evaluating it so heavily, he understands it's going to take some time.
I also love the fact that he came right out when he was hired and he said, look, this is the way I'm going to coach. This is the way my staff is going to coach. When we see something on tape, we're going to tell you it's wrong. And then we're going to tell you how to fix it and how to make it right. That's all you want from a coach right there, right?
Yeah.
If you're a player, that is all you want, for him to tell you what you're doing wrong. And then, you know what, Leon? Here's how you do it right.
Yeah, if you want to be good, listen. If you want to be coached hard in this league, if you care about your craft. You want coaches to be fair and evaluating if you're getting better or you're getting worse. Because not saying anything doesn't help me out, doesn't help the team out. And if everybody does that across the board as far as coaching goes, and evaluating that kind of yeah.
Bro, the last thing I want is for a coach to be afraid to coach Trevor Lawrence hard. And I kind of feel like that's where that staff was last year. They were afraid to push him, afraid to coach him hard, because he's the $275 million guy. I don't care how much he makes. He's the reason you're going to win or lose.
True.
He needs to be coached hard.
Absolutely.
He needs to be told when he's doing something wrong. Mechanically, everything. However you want to look at it, right?
Yeah, I agree. Totally. Yeah.
All right, and speaking of guys that coach are with Nick Sirianni, I don't mind a guy yelling at a fan every now and then. I don't mind that. Speaking of the Eagles, the day of reckoning may be coming for the Eagles and the tush push, Leon. Now, NFL team owners tabled a vote on the Green Bay Packers' proposed rule change to ban the brotherly shove, Leon.
Yeah.
Early this spring at the annual league meetings in Florida, but multiple outlets have reported today that the group of 32 team owners is now ready for the vote and will meet in Minneapolis tomorrow and Wednesday to make a final decision. My guess is that thing gets banned.
Gone bye-bye. Good riddance to it.
Right?
Initially, I didn't have a problem with the tush push because I said, if you can't stop it, then you got to figure out a way to stop. But then I reflected on back when I was a rookie. back my rookie year when I was at the Steelers, and I was on extra point field goal, okay? A lot of people don't know this, the extra point field goal, that back in the day, they used to line up defensive tackles in front of the offensive line, and then they would have linebackers behind the defensive tackles that would push the defensive tackles so they could run through the offensive line,
including over the center, right?
Over the center, yeah. Absolutely. So that essentially was the tush push in defense
for field goal block.
Field goal rushes. And the reason why I didn't like it so much is because my rookie year, I held out, whatever. My rookie year, I got blown up by one of those pushes, and I almost blocked the extra point. That's how far I went back. And the Steelers, the special teams coach kept rewinding it back when I was getting hit, and it just pissed me off.
Just embarrassing.
Just embarrassed me, you know.
That's a great story. Who was it? They told you it was coming too, right?
I can't remember who it was. But
didn't they tell you what's coming?
Yeah, they told me it was coming. They said, "Buckle up, Cersei. The pain is coming." And I did. They hit me so hard that it was a preseason game too. I can't remember which one it was. So yeah, that was the defense, and because guys were getting hurt by it.
Yeah.
You know, centers and guards and stuff like that. They banned it. So they said you couldn't get behind the defensive tackle and push them in order to impose so they can get through the line. So the tush push essentially is that same thing, but offensively. So if they get rid of it, they should.
I also think it's the spirit of the game too, man. I mean, like it's not really football.
It's rugby.
Yes, and here's another thing too is like an offense when you're allowed to push the running back over the goal line or you're allowed to push him to a first down. I don't like that either. Mm-hmm. That's not the game. That's not what the game is. Mm-hmm. It's okay. I've got a guy right here, and if you stop him, and his forward progress is stopped, it's stopped.
Well, listen, in Pittsburgh, I picked up Barry Foster, so I picked him up like groceries so he can get in the end zone. So so I'm a victim of that a little bit.
But it's like you said, it's more like rugby than it is football, mm-hmm. and I think it's when you're at the point where it's 3rd and short, or it's 4th and short, or it's 4th and goal, or 3rd and goal from the 1, and you know what's coming and you can't stop it, mm-hmm. and it's not because they're better than you or they have better players than you or they've got an elite player at running back, who will eventually break a tackle and get in one way or the other. It's just because you're bigger and you've got a massive humanity that you can move, and your quarterback squats 600 pounds, and he's pushing, and he's got the ability to stay out, to hold on to the ball. Mm-hmm. Like it's not even realistic.
Yeah.
It's not even a game. It just becomes like a given. And I don't want the NFL to become a given. I don't want football to become a given.
Okay, I can agree with that. I mean, sometimes I saw the Eagles play. They did this tush push on like 3rd and 3, and then they would go 4th and 1 and do it again and then get the first down. And because you can't literally stop it. You can't literally stop the play. So, except Jacksonville stopped, 3 times last year?
Yeah, but that was some kind of an that had to be some kind of an
It had to be. I don't know how they did it, but they did it.
Either that or the Eagles just literally weren't into it. They were up big when they stopped it too, weren't they? Mm-hmm. I don't think it was in critical moments. Also, by the way, the owners this week will vote on the Lions' proposal to reseed playoff teams based on record after the first round, which is interesting to me, and I think that's the way it should be.
You think so?
Yeah.
Really?
Because then you reward regular season. What you do in the regular season, then it becomes a huge reward. Like if you're reseeding to give your top seed an easier road, I don't mind that at all.
And I thought you were a bit of a historian. I mean, because divisions do matter. So I mean, so the division doesn't matter now. So basically, you're going off a record.
Well, you're getting a first round playoff. You're getting a playoff game at home, aren't you?
Are we?
Yeah.
They're not taking that away?
No, after the first round.
After the first round. Okay, after the first round. No, I don't have a problem with that. First round. I thought you were talking about.
No. The division still has to mean something. Okay. I don't care what it is. If you're winning division, it means you've handled the 3 other teams in your division. I say this all the time. It's the same thing in college football with conferences. You're winning games against guys that know your personnel. Mm-hmm. They know what you do, play after play. They've scouted you, and they've done work on you over and over and over every season. Mm-hmm. Those are the most difficult games to win.
True.
All the time.
They know your tendencies.
Yes, they know everything you do.
Yeah.
So I'm very big on the idea of. That's why I think conference championships are so big. That's why I think you should never get rid of conference championships in college football. That's why I think NFL division division championships are big. Yeah, you should hang a flag for a division championship in the NFL. You're damn right you should. I would anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know how many teams do, but I absolutely would.
Yeah. Okay. I'm starting to count mine right now. How many do I have? There's a chance. I think I got 6.
Yeah, no flags though. No flags for division champs.
No flags for that.
No,
I don't want that stuff.
Yeah,
we used to get hats and T-shirts for it if we won.
You never got rings for division championships?
Oh no, I got a conference chair. I won the AFC once my whole career.
But you never got. Yeah, that ring is still like locked away, right?
Yeah, Auntie got it. You know what Auntie? She got all my stuff.
All right, we're gonna come back on the other side. We're gonna get into more of the position work out there at the first day of OTAs. It was hot. They got into it. There's a lot going on. We got some more sound both from Liam Cohen and a couple other players. Come back on the other side. We'll get into it. It's XLP.
Wonder what Jeff Prosser would be doing if he wasn't on 1010XL?
Came out here, city slickers. You're going to go home, cowboy.
Jeff Prosser.
Must be the fastest gun in the West.
Mornings on 1010XL.
That the biggest liar.
Hayes Carline here. If you're shopping for a new ride, you've got to check out Atlantic Infinity. Not only do you get a luxury vehicle, you also get the Atlantic Infinity Promise Free with every new car. That's almost $2,500 in added value just for buying smarter. And you don't have to sweat it out on the lot. Shop in their indoor climate-controlled showrooms. It's cool, comfortable, hassle-free. They're on Atlantic near St. John's Bluff, or browse anytime at atlanticinfinity.com.
It's Work Zone Awareness Week, Florida. Every year, lives are lost in work zones because of speeding and distractions. When you see orange cones, remember, slow down, follow the signs, and stay focused. Workers are counting on you to get home safely, and so are their families. Let's work together to prevent crashes and save lives. A safety reminder from the Florida Department of Transportation. Slow your roll. Safety's the goal.
Your AC's broke, it ain't no joke. Call Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. FloridaHomeAC.com.
This is Greg Huntington, a.k.a. The Mangler. I'm on the winning team at Waste Management. WM is the largest sustainability company in North America. If your business needs sustainable environmental services for waste removal and recycling collection, then you can count on the industry leader of WM to deliver results. Your services will be completed in a timely, safe, and eco-friendly manner. Go to WM.com/Duval. That's WM.com/Duval and get signed up today. If anyone can talk trash, it's the Mangler.
Go inside your home team's locker room with Jags beat reporter Hayes Carline.
Check out my blog at 1010XL.com.
So you can catch all the news and nuggets you need to know.
My blog is brought to you by Roland Reach Plumbing,
where quality and experience count.
Looking for that designer engagement ring like Tacori or Verragio? Then hear this. The only locally owned authorized dealer here for these exquisite rings is Beards Diamonds. Beards is your destination for the top names in bridal design. Tacori, Verragio, Sylvie, Gabriel & Company, Gnome Carver, and more. If she's seen it on Pinterest or in a bridal magazine, Beards has it. Exquisite, handcrafted, and made in America. So you can get her the ring of her dreams without having to go to one of those national mega chain jewelers. At Beards, there's no big company rules, no Wall Street sales goals, no impersonal service. The non-commissioned experts at Beards Diamonds will take their time and let you see dozens of ring styles from all the most sought-after designers. Beards is proud to be Jacksonville's premier jeweler for nearly 45 years. We're committed to this area and promise an authentic, refined, and risk-free experience. Without markups, without pricing games, without corporate red tape getting in the way of making you happy. Beards Diamonds, Jacksonville's diamond store. At the shops at St. John's Town Center.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
At Tucker Equipment Rental in Neptune Beach, you just don't rent quality machines, you rent quality customer service. Hi, I'm Kevin.
And I'm Dave. Tucker Equipment Rental has been supplying Jacksonville with equipment and event rental for over 50 years.
From commercial and homeowner projects, we've got what you need: lifts, dirt equipment, and landscape equipment.
And don't forget about event rentals, from festivals to weddings to backyard barbecues.
Local, knowledgeable, and always ready to help.
Tucker Equipment Rentals.
You need it, we've got it, come see us.
Baseball is back. Jumbo Shrimp Baseball at the newly renovated 5-Star Ballpark is your home for affordable family fun. Tickets start at just $5. Fireworks after every Friday home game and kids round the bases after Sunday games. Log on to jackshrimp.com for tickets and details. Jumbo Shrimp Baseball, affordable family fun.
David here with Royal Pest Services. Man, don't let your yard be torn up by that heavy aeration machine this spring. Visit RoyalPestServices.com to learn more about our granular aeration, broadcast throughout the tree and shrubs to break up that compacted soil. Visit RoyalPestServices.com.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes here with a challenge. A challenge might not be the best choice in words, so let's say an opportunity. Take the opportunity to lose 40 by the 4th with Awaken 180. It sounds a little different when you put a real goal to it, doesn't it? Maybe you looked at the scale this morning and it read 230 pounds. How about a reading 190 by the 4th? Maybe the scale says 300. Wouldn't the number 260 be a little nicer on your eyes and on your joints? It's attainable if you have the same results we all had with Awaken 180. I dropped 40 pounds in 9 weeks. Hacker dropped his first 40 in just 6 weeks. Dempsey, Blue, and everyone else I know, same results. And we've kept it off. The best thing about Awaken 180 weight loss, it will completely change the way you think, see, and feel about food. The results are real, attainable, and the process simple with Awaken 180. Take the opportunity and drop 40 by the 4th. It all starts with just one call to Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Call 844-346-1800 or online at awaken180weightloss.com.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update brought to you by Awaken 180. Panthers head coach Paul Maurice had an amazing game plan for last night's Game 7 victory as the Panthers dominated the Leafs 6-1 to get back to the Eastern Conference Finals for the 3rd consecutive season. Here's Coach Maurice talking about the pure emotion of a Game 7 and how the puck went the Panthers' way throughout the series.
The emotion, the build up to the games, that's the truth, right? We scored a goal, and then we got those two, and it's just a puck to the net. It's not so much closer than you think, but you're going to kill these guys and they don't deserve it. That's 7 games, and we played well. We played well in the 2 losses. We played well in Game 6 and got beat. That's how tight it is.
It's 94 degrees at 3 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
They did some really good things today. I thought just from a communication standpoint, punching the ball out, doing it in the right way, though, right? We had a couple guys just trying to be intentional about getting the ball out and getting their hands on the football, something that we're, actively trying to be intentional about this whole offseason. And I thought the defensive staff's done a great job of communicating that in the meeting settings, bringing it out to the practice field. I thought that they did a nice job kind of setting the line of scrimmage, playing with length on the D-line, and, the ball was out. I mean, the ball was on the ground too many times for us offensively, but, hey, on the flip side of it, that's the first time as a head coach you actually kind of have to be very neutral in those moments where I'm kind of ticked off that the ball is on the ground from an offensive standpoint, but ultimately, man, defense did a nice job of getting the ball out today for us.
Mondays on XL Primetime, brought to you by Mokama. Check out their great craft in the tap room in Fernandina Beach.
All right, we're back on XLP here at the 18th Annual Guggen Open, Hidden Hills Country Club. Leon, to me, you heard Liam Cohen there talk about the defense and talk about popping the ball out. And we said earlier in this first OTA session, there were some drops, there were fumbles. But you know what? I love the fact that, and I think this, I don't know if this was actually happening last year, but the fact that they are teaching to knock the ball out. They're teaching these guys, here's X, Y, and Z, how you do that. You're talking about a franchise that had 7 forced turnovers last year. 7!
Yeah, that's bad.
Like, you could stumble into 7.
That's true.
Without even trying.
That's true. You remember what we were talking about last year when we was watching the defense go after it pretty good? The active hands. We were talking about active hands, guys going after the ball, stripping, fumbling, all that kind of stuff. And you're getting the same stuff here in camp. And let me just say this, and I might be offensive line biased, so to say, because I am. Traditionally, when you got a new regime, the offense is going to struggle because it's new. The system's new. All the different variables that are. When you're a defense or whatever, It's relatively easy because all you're doing is lining up and keep coming off the ball. And I know Coach Campbell's going to rip me when I see him tomorrow. When I see how simple it is as far as – and I'm not talking about coverages. I'm talking about defensive fronts.
Right.
I'm talking about defensive line fronts. I mean, how hard is it to line up in the 1, 3, and the 5 or 7 and go off the ball?
That's true.
I mean, so I'm saying so there's less processing information when it comes to the defensive front because they've all played it before. Now, there might be different terminologies or different calls to be saying. It might be different stuff you say when you're shading or guys are moving left to right, that kind of stuff. But you're going to always see in camp, especially the defensive front is going to be a lot more active than the offensive front because the offensive line has to learn more, has to communicate well in order to block the guys. Okay, yeah, I am. I'm knocking on the defense a little bit. All right. They got less to learn than the offensive line, okay? That's what I'm saying.
Well, it's more attack.
More attack, absolutely.
And I get all of that. But I guess what I find very positive is it's day one, and the head coach is already talking about he likes the attitude. He likes how they're flying around. He likes how they're knocking balls out and away, defending passes, knocking balls out of arms, forcing fumbles, forcing turnovers, forcing plays, big plays that can change games. We say this all along. The key to winning football games is the turnover battle. Mm-hmm. If you win the turnover battle, if you force more turnovers than you commit, you're going to win games, a significant amount of games too.
That's true.
So you cannot go through a 17-game season and average a turnover every 1.5 games.
No.
I mean, or I shouldn't, not even one. Every 2.5 games, actually, or 2 1/4, whatever it is. You can't do that. You're going to lose a lot of games that way.
And tomorrow, Coach Campbell here talk about this as far as when you know how excited the offense gets when the defense intercepts the ball, sudden change. How many opportunities did we have that last year to have sudden change? And then when there's sudden change and the team is reeling it a little bit because of the turnover, that's when you take your shot down the field because they're a lot more vulnerable in that situation. We've never had those kind of opportunities in Jacksonville.
Plus, you know what else a turnover does? And you can speak to this too because being a player is, man, it ends the drive. Yeah. It gets you off the field instead of staying on the field for 5 minutes and it's a 9-play, 81-yard drive and they score a touchdown or even a field goal. You're dog tired. Your offense goes out 3 and out. Then what? Right back on the field.
And you believe that's debilitating to any offense, whether it be a long drive or a short drive, turning the ball over, whether it be a fumble or it's an interception. It's debilitating. And then the team that gets the ball offensively, you know what I'm saying? They could have started stale or slow or whatever.
Right.
Now they've got momentum because they took the ball away. So I mean, it plays to your psyche as well. So that's why you like it. Just like I talked about as far as if your offense comes out and scores points initially when the game starts,
right?
Like puts up 14, the defense is excited because now the defense know we can get after it now a little. We got a little. Same thing happens when it comes to turnovers. You get excited. I mean, that's what this team has been meant. It's good to see that they're emphasizing it right now during camp. But this kind of terminology should have been implemented in the last regime, which it wasn't.
It's attitude, right? It's attitude. It's. And I say it all the time. It's like want and will. How badly do you want to get that ball, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
I think when you look at. We always go back to the 2022 season because it's almost like it's home base for us right now. It's like that's the only thing we can see in this Trevor Lawrence era where it looked right the last, 7 games of 2022. But if you remember in that little run, Leon, they were forcing turnovers. Look, the huge turnover against the Titans, the huge turnover against the Cowboys. It was game after game they were getting critical turnovers. And we laugh about Jenkins and Jenkins, wasn't that much of a cover guy, but guess what? He forced turnovers, man.
Yeah.
He forced turnovers.
Listen, there's nothing like the football gods blessing you when you got a little momentum. I mean, things bounce your way. I mean, those turnovers that we had, Trevor was lighting them up. He was 12-1, 12 touchdowns to 1 interception. We were turning the ball over. The balls were bouncing our way. Just that Dallas Cowboy game alone. When what's the safety's name from Miami? When the ball when it ricocheted off the wide receiver and he picked it up and scored it.
Jenkins,
yes. That stuff doesn't happen if you're stale and boring and not doing anything during the season. We had a nice little run. when you got a nice little run, you got that kind of momentum, that kind of stuff happens for you.
Right.
It's called good energy. It's good. It's called good mojo.
The ball is out.
Yes.
When the ball is out, you have no idea where that thing's going, where it's bouncing, whatever, who's going to get it. But good things happen when the ball is out. With this team last year, and really the majority of 2023, the ball wasn't out. It wasn't happening.
No.
So that's, to me, that's the key. Knock the ball out, and then see what happens.
Well, listen, you got to learn. How many times have we seen a wide receiver catch a ball and someone stand them up and punch the ball out? There was none of that. And you see teams around the league do it all the time. They don't just tackle. They keep a guy up, try to punch it out. They're looking for the turnover. Tackling the guy after 10 yards doesn't help you. Holding the guy, having the guy come and punch the ball out and the turnover, that's what helps your team.
Right.
We need to see a lot more of that kind of stuff. Because I see everybody else do it. I see the Chiefs do it. I see the Eagles do it. I see Buffalo do it. You know, all that. I'm sure that kind of teaching is going to be taught, you know, in the defensive side of the ball when it comes to tackling and getting the ball up out of there.
Plus, it's that juice, that energy. Because once you get a turnover, you get back on the field, and now you've gotten a turnover. Now you got a little energy. Now everybody's got a little bit more of a pep in their step. Now the next guy wants to get that turnover, right?
Yeah.
Like if Trayvon Walker got a strip sack, now Josh Hines-Allen wants to get that strip sack. That's the way it was in the end of 2022, our home base. We're going to start calling that now. 2022, the last 7 games is going to be home base for us because that is literally all we know as far as success in the Trevor Lawrence era. But that's kind of my point is the more you force turnovers, the more you feel like you have to force turnovers. Like you got to get your share, right? Like players are like that, are they not?
Absolutely. Listen, when Sully was going up against Jason Taylor on that Monday Night Football game or whatever, and he was over there just putting in work on.
Yeah.
I get jealous. I want to eat too. I want to eat too. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So when you see your teammate going over there putting in work, you know, you start to say, okay, he putting in work. I need to eat too. So, and that it becomes contagious. You know, you wanna dominate the same way he's getting after it pretty good. You know what I'm saying? That's why I told Jason Taylor that one particular time when he came on my side, and I hit him with that two-handed punch. I said, I don't know why you came over here. I said, you got the same thing you got over there.
But that's the problem is the last year and a half, nobody's eating.
No, man. No.
Nobody's eating on either side of the ball. Nobody's eating.
Nobody's eating. Nobody has a plate. You got to get a plate first to eat. That's what I'm concerned with. Do they have a plate to eat? Jeez.
By the way, it kind of looks like Ventrell Miller is going to be with the starting group and defense. There are really no other surprises. Nichols, obviously, Jordan Lewis. Monteric Brown started at the other corner, but we'll see. I think Jaron Jones is going to give him a run for his money at the other spot. Murray's one of the safeties. Savage is a safety. That's my guess is that's just day one.
Yeah.
That's just day one. There's a lot going on there.
What about Ranshaw? Was he playing DB?
But he's not. He wasn't running with the ones.
Okay.
But again, that's day one.
Yeah,
and they are committed. They are beholden. You want to talk about who they're beholden? They're beholden to their draft picks. They're beholden to their free agency picks. They're not beholden to anybody else, other than maybe other than Trevor Lawrence and the two defensive ends. Other than that, I don't know that they're beholden to anybody in that team. And Brian Thomas, obviously.
Yeah.
But you're like, you're gonna have to work. You're going to have to work on that defense to keep your job. There's no doubt about it.
I'm okay with that. I'm absolutely okay with that. But it's good that, it was good to hear that the coach was impressed by the defense putting in work. It seemed to be inspired on day one.
Maybe the Campanile factor of everybody understands an ass whooping. If I'm a player and I hear that, and okay, we just hired this new DC, and I'm a player and I go online and I see that video, how does that not charge you up? How does that not make you want to go play?
Well, listen, coaches like him, like I said before earlier, bro, how your grouping plays is a reflection on you. So he seems to be a fiery guy, right?
Right.
He seems to be a give it to you straight type of guy.
Right.
And you want that. And if he's a fiery guy, in your face, get it done type of guy, that attitude alone is different than what we've seen this defense play like over the last couple of years. So, I mean, he seems to be the type of guy where he wants his defense to play how he coaches, which is feisty, fiery, get in your face, hold you accountable, that kind of stuff. I'm perfectly okay with that.
So let me ask you this. So how do you motivate Josh Hines Allen right now? He's got the money, right? He's got the contract. He's got the money. He clearly did not play well last year. Now, and you can have people say, well, he was among the top whatever in pressures. I don't care. Get home. Get home, get a sack, get a strip, something. Force a turnover. I mean, to me, that's the issue. The issue is how do you motivate that cat, right, who did not have as many sacks as Trayvon Walker last year. He was behind Trayvon Walker. So how do you motivate him to get him to play at his top level?
Well, I just had the conversation TC had with me. We didn't pay you all that money to play average. Be honest with him. Be honest with him. We did not pay you all that money to be average.
And finally,
and see where it goes from there. I mean, you got to get underneath his skin a little bit.
A little bit, right?
You got to get underneath his skin a little bit. Don't let it be the position coach. Let it be the head coach that tells him that. Have him come to your office, depending on how he's playing or what. You have the head coach come in and say, hey, listen, man, they paid you all that money a couple of years ago, man. You're average at best. I watched the film. We didn't pay you all this money to be average. I would do it. Absolutely, I would do it.
I get a little. We need to go to a break here, but I get a little feeling that Liam Cohen may be one of those guys that I've been asking for the last year and a half, that may just say something publicly that a player may not want to hear, just because, you know what, you got to be called out, man. You got to be if you really want to change someone, if you really want to change someone, and I've been saying this all along, you can say it to him in the locker room. It might change something. It may not. But if you call them out publicly and everybody knows you've called him out, maybe you get a little kickstart, a little jump.
Maybe. But, hey, that same conversation that he had with Josh Allen has to apply to Trevor, too.
Oh, you better believe it. You better believe it. I'm not protecting
I would call both of them in and tell them the same thing. Hey, we didn't pay y'all all this money to be average.
You are the cornerstones of this franchise, both of you. You are the reason we think we can be where we can get to. Right?
Yeah.
And at some point, you've got to lay that on their shoulders.
Yeah.
This is it. It's on you guys.
Yes.
It's on you two.
Absolutely.
All right. We need to go to break. We'll come back on the other side. We'll get further into this. It's XLP.
Saddle up with the Frangie Show. Afternoons on 1010XL.
Leon Cersei here. Let's be real. I used to eat like a lineman because I am one. And man, those habits are hard to break. I needed help to stop with the munches and lose weight. But now I'm bringing sexy back. I call physician-guided weight loss in South Point. The medical team is helping me shed pounds safely with a custom plan to help me slim down. And their firm pricing means same price every month. Hey, you want to bring sexy back? Visit Physician Guided Weight Loss at pgweightloss.com. That's pgweightloss.com.
Now, the Florida Gator Report on 1010XL, brought to you by San Jose Collision.
After defeating Alabama on Friday 7-6 and on Sunday 9-3, the Gators won their 6th SEC series in a row. And after starting 1-11 in conference play, they finished 15-15 for an even 500. They'll have their first game of the SEC tournament on Tuesday night at 5:30 against the South Carolina Gamecocks.
When you step into a courtroom, you're stepping into a fight. Someone wins, someone loses. I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and at Hastings Injury Law, we've got the experience you want in your corner if you or a loved one suffer a personal injury or a wrongful death. We're here to fight for you. So if you get hit, hit back with Hastings Injury Law, offices Jacksonville. Find us on the web at 904hitback.com or call our 24-hour helpline, 904-HITBACK.
Need a fast casual option that's healthy, fresh, and delicious? Choose the Great Greek Mediterranean Grill. Gyros, salads, hummus, and more made completely fresh right as you order. Off 210 and St. John's Parkway. The Great Greek Mediterranean Grill.
Baloo here for Smunez Vision. Why Smunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smunez is fellowship trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmunezVision.com today. Here you can see.
This is Mike Lynch, PGA Golf Professional. Take it from me. If you're dealing with an orthopedic issue, talk to the doctors at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where you're treated like a pro.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where athletes are treated like pros. Thanks to all of you who have allowed us to be part of your recovery. Call us at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists if you ever have a need.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Oh, no.
You okay in there?
Toilet's backed up. It won't flush.
Okay, I'll call the pros.
The tank isn't filling. The handle does nothing. Run for your life.
Don't be so dramatic. Duck Rooter will fix it.
For any plumbing issue, call Duck Rooter, your local plumbing professionals and proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. DuckDuckRooter.com.
When you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769.
Weekends were made for sports, and I'll tell you my take on this weekend's most interesting option. 1010XL's Media Mogul Hicken here. Watch for Musing with the Media Mogul on YouTube and Facebook. Made possible by Tucker Equipment Rentals in Neptune Beach.
I'm Clayton Bromberg, the president of Underwoods. From now until May 28th, we're holding our big diamond sale, and now's the best time to buy a quality diamond of a carat or more. Here are a few reasons. First, there's severe upward pressure on rough diamonds, with 4 price increases already this year. Most of this has yet to hit the polished market, so they're diamonds for sale at the old prices. Next, our diamond cutters asked us to house their inventories of existing big diamonds so we could sell them here prior to them being offered to the jewelry trade in Las Vegas. This allows us the ability to sell from their vast stock at brokerage prices you have to see to believe. All of these diamonds are graded for cut, color, and clarity with independent laboratory grading reports. Now, along with this vast collection of big diamonds, we put all of our own meticulously selected loose diamonds and engagement-style rings on sale at prices from 3% to 25% off. We also take trade-ins, but remember, this sale ends May 28th at Underwood San Marco, Avondale, and the Shops of Ponte Vedra.
Rick Ballou for Coy Dental. That's right, Carlson Dental is now Coy Dental. Dr. Lee has been practicing there for 9 years, has purchased the company. The Coy Dental team still has the same great dentists and staff. And remember, if you get nervous visiting a dentist, don't. There's never a problem at Coy Dental. With light sedation for cleaning, then deep sedation for all your restorative needs. Coy Dental, 2 locations in Jacksonville.
New year, new club. This is Joe C., and I'm proud to be a member of Southampton. And with the popularity of golf, getting a tee time is tough. But with membership comes member privileges. Enjoy clubhouse dining, expanded practice area, focusing on all parts of your game. And right now, you can join with an annual commitment and get a $1,000 discount, plus $500 of Pro Shop credit. All the details are online at golfsouthampton.com or call 287-PLAY and make a tee time today at the Golf Club of Southampton.
Listen all day as 1010XL gives you news, notes, and analysis of organized team activities as they get ready for the upcoming season. Our coverage of OTAs is hoisted by Heroes Lawn Care and Hurricane Grill and Wings.
If someone you love needs a pick-me-up, then it's time to get serious about it and send them a Kuhn floral arrangement. Dylan Denmark here with 1010XL. You'll be assured of a quality delivery, that's for sure. Log on and order online at kuhnflowers.com.
Jacksonville Hickens calling it. Checkmate Coating, my MVP. Tough, slick floors that dominate any space.
Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Yeah, we're not out here all that long at the end of the day. And so, the whole thought process is just, hey, keep moving, you know, from a conditioning standpoint. If we're going from drill to drill and we're buzzing around and we're not walking on the field, well, we don't have to sit here and do extra conditioning after. They have to go with the weight room staff and go do extra conditioning. You know, that is a philosophy thing for us as a team, and just keeping guys moving, keeping it going. Ultimately, we do need some breaks. We need to let them kind of cool off and give their thoughts a minute. But I thought they, you know, handled it for the most part well today.
Mondays on XL Primetime, brought to you by Mokama. Check out their great craft in the tap room at Fernandina Beach.
All right, we're back in XLP. Matt Hayes, Leon Searcy, JJ LaSelva, making it all sound good. Joe C. out for the week on vacation, well-deserved vacation. It's a Mokama Monday. Leon, that soundbite there from Liam Cohen, to me, I don't know how many practices we watched over the years and under Doug Peterson, I should say, and there wasn't running between periods, Leon. There wasn't like a tempo like we saw. Again, it's just day one.
I know.
But I like that tempo, man. I do.
No, what else I didn't see from Leon Cohen? Guys inside the air conditioned get stretching. Remember that?
Which is your pet peeve.
Yes. That's what we didn't see. We saw that last year. I think it was with Leon Cole's Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They came in.
When the Bucs came, right.
Came some whatever, and our offensive line and our defensive line is inside stretching in the air conditioning because it was too hot.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
I didn't see any of that today.
That's I just again, and maybe this is just like maybe I'm overblowing this, but I just when I see tempo like that, when I see guys running, I think it's a different vibe. And I think that you got to have something to shake this funk, man. You cannot go a year and a half like they've had where they just look like a team that doesn't care. You got to have something to shake them up a little bit.
Yeah, well, reps matter. Reps matter in the league. And the one thing I was watching the offensive line, I was talking to you about it when it first happened. There was a separation between guards and tackles. Because last year they used to do everything
together, right.
And then they would wait and be back there just chilling, drinking water until their rep was up and everything like that. And I was saying to myself, I said, why don't you break them up into groups? Have the guards do those drills, have the tackles do, and what did happen? They had tackles do their drills, had guards,
three over there,
and all those guys over there constantly getting reps. Now, it's not something where you're trying to overexert their energy.
Right.
But it's something where you keep them engaged in practice. That you holding the bag, you're getting the rep. You holding the bag, you're getting the rep.
Right. There's no standing. You're either holding the bag or you're getting the rep.
Absolutely.
And if you're holding the bag, you're still engaged.
Yes, you're still engaged. You got to have something. And I was praying for this last year, where they weren't getting enough reps as offensive line, and now they were. I saw guys getting reps. I saw guys rolling in, rolling out, rolling in, rolling out. You can't understand how important reps are, especially as an offensive lineman, because steps, head placement, shooting the hands, rolling the hip, all that stuff. When you do it constantly, people used to ask me. I remember high school kids or college kids would come over to me and ask me, "Hey, after practice, Leon, how many snaps should I give?" I say 1,000. They say, "Huh? 1,000?" I might be overblowing them, but I'm saying there should be no pitch count when it comes you getting snaps.
Right.
There should be no pitch count. Every rep is important. Every step to the right, every step to the left, every hand placement, every shooting the hands, rolling the hips, attack angles, all that kind of stuff. Absolutely important. Because it's important now that when you get into the game, it's second nature now. You're not thinking, you're reacting, because now your body has just been acclimated to all that stuff.
So it's also, I mean, when I'm looking at it, I also think if you're holding the bag, okay, you're also engaged in what the coach is coaching to the guy you're holding the bag for.
Yeah.
So you're constantly engaged in coaching and teaching.
Absolutely.
And you're learning no matter what it is, whether it's coaching you or coaching someone else, right?
And the coach makes sure that you're engaged to what he's saying to that particular guy with that rep. Because if you come back and do the complete opposite, he's going to rip you a new one. And he should rip you a new one.
Right.
Absolutely. If he's telling the guy, okay, when you step to the right, you got to shoot your hips, you got to shoot the hand, and your attack angle's got to be such and such, whatever. So now when the guy who's holding the bag gets the rep, and he does the complete opposite, the coach is going to say, what the hell were you doing while I was teaching?
Right, you're not just watching.
Exactly.
Right.
So you've got to be paying attention while the guy's doing this rep, and I absolutely love it.
All right, so again, first day for the rookies, OTAs. I want to talk about what rookies can get out of this, and Jay just got a little sound about what Travis Hunter can get as far as from the classroom to the field. JJ, play that real quick.
I think so far so good. I mean, he had a couple missed assignments today that, he knew right away. He came off the grass and took accountability for him. The one thing you notice is a guy that hasn't played a ton of football or, been out conditioning maybe for the last 2 months because he was on a little bit of a tour. The guy can run forever. I mean, he just kind of goes, runs a route, runs back, runs. I mean, you can tell he's in football shape, and he was, he's done a nice job. Edgar Barrett, the coaches, Ron Milas, those guys have done a great job of meeting with him when they've had time to do so, and Travis has worked hard at getting this stuff right.
So, to the larger issue here with young guys, rookie guys, their adjustment. You heard with the rookie minicamp, one of the first, in fact, the first player that Liam Cohen talked about was Jack Kaiser, the linebacker from Notre Dame. He was asked by the media, who stood out for you, and he immediately said, not only just Jack Kaiser, he said, first and foremost, Jack Kaiser. So for the young guys, these OTAs, number one, how difficult is this the beginning of, obviously, the transition? How difficult is the transition when you're still kind of getting your feet wet, but you're also in the situation where you've got to keep up?
Well, for rookies, first thing you have to gauge is speed. All right, however fast you ran in college is not going to be fast enough. I don't care however fast you ran, because the gauge and the speed is different, completely different. And those rookies won't notice it probably more than likely. I don't even want to say probably training camp. You'll get a glimpse of it. Maybe the preseason. I'm not sure the preseason, because mainly the preseason is going to be guys kind of in your same position or whatever. So you really don't get a gauge of how different the speed is until you get into an actual game. But you'll see a little bit of a difference in that. So that's the first thing. The gauge and speed is just completely different. The amount of information that you have to take in and then regurgitate on the field. That's a lot. I mean, it doesn't matter what school you went to, the Notre Dame's, the Michigans, Alabama, whatever. A lot of information you got to regurgitate it, and then you're expected to execute at a very high level every day. Every complete day. And then the conditioning. Now, as far as Travis Hunter goes, I mean, coach basically said that this guy's been on tour. He's basically been on tour.
Rubber chicken circuit.
You know what I'm saying? He's been on, I mean, he's a Heisman Trophy winner.
Yeah.
Right? He's he's the second pick overall. Of course, there's going to be a demand for him. But the fact that he's in shape lets you know that he still attains to his craft. He loves football. Because if he came here bending over, tired, then you know.
That would not be good.
It would not be good. So the fact that he's well conditioned, despite the demand to have him here at this place and here at that place, he takes the time to make sure that he stays in condition, which is often.
We talked so much about. We talked about he's not the biggest guy. He's slight. He's gonna have to learn how to protect himself. That there are things they can do with him from the slot to get him open and to protect him. But at the end of the day, the biggest transition for him is going to be learning, right? Yeah. It's going to be like the actual learning of not only the offense and the defense, of specific little nuances that will make the game easier for him, right? How long does that take, do you think, for rookies to learn those little nuances that make things easier for them?
Well, listen, if I was Travis Hunter, I'll be talking to BTJ. Because BTJ excelled. He excelled at a very high level, so he's got a little bit more experience than Travis, because he has a bit. So I would be a sponge with him. Well, I would watch film with him and say, well, what are you seeing here? Why did you break your route here? This, not. Your get-offs, your breaks, all that kind of stuff. Because these are all new nuances to him. So, yeah, I would be in BTJ's back pocket. I mean, because BTJ is a top 10 wide receiver in this league.
Yeah.
He's proven commodity.
Yeah.
Travis isn't yet. So I would definitely be having conversations with him on a regular basis, watching film with him, breaking down stuff, because, and you know what, I don't think this is any disrespect to BTJ because Travis Hunter is so dynamic and the Heisman Trophy winner and stuff like that. But if I'm BTJ, I want to let people know I'm still here.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's giddy about Travis Hunter, and that's fine and dandy. But I'm a top 10 receiver who went to a Pro Bowl. I'm still here.
I mean,
don't be surprised. I'm not saying there's any jealousy. No, I'm not be surprised. But remember, I said that when one person eats, another one wants to eat.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if BTJ just goes off this year.
He's clearly the one. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
He's the one. But yeah, I could absolutely see that where you're in a situation where, plus if you're a competitor, if you're any kind of competitor and you've had the kind of season he just had, and they go out and get another receiver because they're trying to help the quarterback, obviously, and actually while helping the quarterback, he's helping you too, taking pressure off you. But if you have any kind of competitive oomph in you, you're thinking, all right, I'm gonna show you what you still got.
Yeah, it's like when you had, and we're both dog lovers, absolutely.
Right.
You got the old faithful dog in the house,
yeah,
and then someone brings in the new puppy. Everybody wants to play with the new puppy. The old dog's like, wait a minute, now, I've been here all this time. Y'all get the new puppy, y'all just forget I'm here. That's the way.
Let me show you what I got.
Let me show you what I got.
Right,
absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, we need to go to break. We're going to finish up the show, get into a little bit more of the first day of OTAs, maybe a college football note, too, in our takeaways. It's XLP.
Take Jacksonville with you.
There's no place like home.
Listen to 1010XL away from home.
Oh, but anyway, Toto, we're home. Home.
Download the 1010XL and XL 92.5 FM apps for free on Apple and Android devices.
Frank Francie here for Bono's Pit Barbecue. Bono's has been serving Jacksonville's best barbecue since 1949. Now, to thank all their loyal customers, Bono's is bringing back their Club 49 card. You can get a $500 gift card for only $350. That's a savings of $150. You can purchase your Club 49 card at any of the Bono's locations around town. And you'll want to get to Bono's soon to get the spring wing deal. You get 6 wings and a side for just $11.99. Head to Bono's, and remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
It's back! Mia here. The Summer Starts Here event is hot and going on now at Arlington Toyota. Why should you buy from Arlington? How about over 800 vehicles in one location and 60-day exchange? Buy it, take it home. If it's not right for you, you have 60 days to exchange it. Plus, right now, get financing as low as 0% on select new models. Shop Summer Starts Here at Arlington Toyota. In person on Atlantic Boulevard, just a quarter mile east of 295, or at arlingtontoyota.com.
Lauren Brooks here for Terminix. Did you know that mosquito bites could lead to heartworm for your dog or cat? When mosquitoes show up, pet parents want them gone. Terminix takes mosquitoes down fast, just like they did at my house for our pup. Terminix knows that pets are part of the family. They do what it takes to help protect them. When mosquitoes show up, so does Terminix. Don't live with a mosquito problem, Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online. That's TERMINIX.com.
It's the perfect day. You're just driving along, listening to your favorite music, the window's down. There's a cool breeze. Life is good. But wait, hold on a second. You're not wearing a seatbelt? You'd better put that on before that... Uh-oh, too late. Cops everywhere are stepping up enforcement, so you'd better buckle up or you will get caught. Sorry to ruin your day. Click it or ticket.
Funded by the Florida Department of Transportation.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
Divorce changes your life and your children's lives. Whether that change is good or bad depends to a great extent upon the attorney you choose. So interview more than one attorney and ask about experience, specifically trial experience. And oh, by the way, be sure to include Cordell & Cordell in those interviews.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Jacksonville area attorneys. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only. CordellCordell.com, Jacksonville, Florida. Lisa Cargis, Florida resident partner. Announcer is not a licensed attorney.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On May 19, 2019, at the PGA Championship at Bethpage State Park, defending champion Brooks Koepka leads wire to wire, winning his 4th major championship.
Jacksonville, you know a good defense wins games, and a good fence protects your home. Frank Frangie here. Coil Fencing has been around the block since 1927. Literally, they probably fenced it too. From tough chain link to sleek aluminum fences your HOA will love, Coil is the name to trust. Nearly a century strong and still standing tall. Call Coil today. You can trust them. Call 904-356-4821 or visit coiljacks.com. That's COYLE Jacks.com.
Right now, they're on their way to disrupt your life, make you uncomfortable, and rob you. Don't bother calling the police. They can't help. That's right. Summer heat and humidity are about to attack North Florida again. You know what to do. Call Mike Merritt. Mike Merritt's Heating and Air has a license to chill. When heat and humidity are attacking you, Mike Merritt provides a comfortable chill at a bargain price. Mike has been keeping North Florida comfortable for 30 years. Mike Merritt technicians are never paid commissions, meaning you'll never be pressured to buy something you don't need. And Mike Merritt knows cooling issues can arise anytime. They don't just happen during business hours. So Mike Merritt never charges overtime fees. When you need us, we're here for you. Remember, in the fight against heat and humidity, Mike Merritt has a license to chill. Visit merrittair.com. Florida license number CACO 50384.
Life is about choices and the decisions you make. I'm David Robbins with Epstein & Robbins. If you're convicted of a DUI, you'll have to face severe consequences. Walking through the doors of the courthouse or appearing at a bond hearing can be extremely intimidating. Without the right lawyer, you're likely to make the wrong decision. Let our team help you make the right decisions in court. Epstein & Robbins, the right choice.
Epstein & Robbins, fighting for your rights since 1975.
Mia here for my friends at Closets by Design. It's been a few months since they built my custom closet. Even my family is obsessed. And with Father's Day right around the corner, why not surprise Dad with his own custom garage workspace? Tool storage, workbenches, the whole works. Closets by Design creates custom solutions for every space, lifestyle, and budget. That includes Dad's. Call to schedule your free in-home consultation and receive 40% off plus an additional 15% off. Visit closetsbydesign.com.
Attention poker enthusiasts, get ready for unbeatable action at Best Bet with locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine. Dive into the excitement with $500 high hands every Friday and $1,000 high hands every Saturday. And save the dates for May's table game giveaways. $300 every 20 minutes on select Fridays and Saturdays. Want in on the action? Visit bestbetjacks.com for all the details. That's bestbetjacks.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air, Electric and Plumbing. Keeping Jack's cool since 87.
All right, my takeaway is that first day of camp, I was impressed. A lot of energy, a lot of effort. Maybe a little overreacting a little bit. We have a tendency to do that.
We do. I'm all right with that,
I'm
though.
okay with that. I saw a difference. And guys running back and forth to stations. I saw a lot of energy. I saw a lot of concentration on doing it right. And, being accountable. And I saw a lot of hips on hands, too. So
hot as hell.
Hot as hell out there. Hot as hell. And there was no shame in my game. I brought my personal fan with me, JJ. And I was.
You had that thing locked up underneath you,
absolutely.
Man.
So, but I had a good day at camp today. Good first day.
All right, so my takeaway, I'm going to veer off the NFL and the first day of OTAs, and I'm going to go into something that's NFL related because it was kind of overlooked last week when the schedule was released. The NFL has a couple critical division matchups scheduled to be played on the exact same day as the first round of the college football playoff. So, games against, you ready for this? These aren't just like throwaway games. Games against the Eagles and the Commanders and the Packers and the Bears fall on the same Saturday as the college football playoff first round games. 3 of those games.
Wow.
So, here's my problem with this. It's not just that the NFL takes whatever it wants. Okay?
It does.
It's not that it steals ideas and takes whatever it wants, because let's be honest. Thursday Night Football was a college football idea. ESPN made it like a cult game, a cult following, what they did. Now, the college football games on Thursdays, there's no Power 4 games. They're all just like Group of 5 conference games that no one really wants to watch anymore because the NFL swooped in and decided we're going to take Thursday night. They swooped in and they made a boatload of cash on it. $1 billion annually for those games on Amazon. $1 billion they're getting just for those games. Just for the Thursday night games, they're getting $1 billion annually.
And they stream it where you have to pay for it sometimes.
Right. So my point of this is you got these games going up against 3 first-round playoff games. College football's desperate to have a little footing with its new playoff, desperate to earn television dollars because there's so much money going out the window now because of they have to pay players, and more is going to go out the window as we get deeper and deeper into the paying players, that they need revenue. But because the NFL is going to play on these days, because they're going to minimize these games, the ratings are going to be bad, and then the Foxes and the ESPNs and the CBS and the Amazons are not going to want to pay elite dollars for these games because their excuse is simply going to be, well, your ratings aren't any good. So basically what the NFL is doing is minimizing college football, and this is the worst part of all. They're doing it while college football gives them a free minor league system.
Yeah, I was going to ask you.
Free.
That. Yeah.
And by free, I mean free. It doesn't cost the NFL anything, not a dime. So my point to all this is that at some point, be it the university presidents, be it the college football board of directors, they have to get together and say, look, here's what we're going to do. We're going to tell the NFL that you will get no access to our teams, no access to our game tape, no access to our coaches and assistant coaches unless you get off those days, unless you not compete with us in our playoff. We're trying to grow a playoff. The NFL could easily just go to Sunday. It's not going to hurt the NFL, not going to hurt their product, not going to hurt their ability to generate revenue. It is going to hurt the college football product. It is going to hurt the college football's ability to generate revenue. So at some point, college football has to stand up for itself. They have leverage here. They can tell the NFL, you will not be allowed on our campuses anymore.
And they need to do it collectively.
Yes. It can't just be only the Power 5s or a handful of Power 5 schools. It's got to be every single FBS and FCS school. There's got to be a complete NCAA deal where they say, you're not allowed on our campus until you get off this game week.
I like that.
Yeah. I don't know if it'll happen. I don't know if the NCAA has the guts to do something like that. But it's their only leverage that they have right now.
They're watering down a new product that they're trying to implement. They're watering down. If you're saying those games are being played at the same time, the first round of the playoffs,
what games are going to be watched then? You think the Eagles versus the Commanders or a first-round college football playoff game?
Eagles Commanders.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't care what kind of first-round playoff game you have.
Unless it's Miami.
Well, for you, right.
Yeah,
but I mean,
Miami, I'm going to watch it.
But typically, I don't care what college football playoff game you have. It could be a great game. The Eagles and the Commanders will dwarf it.
I agree.
Absolutely dwarf it. And I'm not like for. Look, I want to make this very clear. You're not forcing the NFL to lose money. They're not going to lose money because they're not playing games on Saturday. That's ridiculous. That's not what's going to happen. College football will lose money if they don't have the ratings. If they don't have the ratings, the next time they go to sell their product, their media rights deals, to try and do a standalone deal with multiple networks, they will lose money because it's very easy for the networks to say, "What? I'm not paying that kind of money. You guys had a 6.1 rating. Why would I pay for that?" So I think the NFL, which again gets everything free, FREE, free from college football, a free minor league system, at some point they've got to help them. They've got to help them grow that product that they're trying to develop right now. They're trying to develop this unique playoff system, it's going to be 16 teams too in 2026, a 16-team playoff system. They're trying to get them they're trying to get it off the ground and let it become like a standalone product where it's just as important or more important as the regular season, where everybody wants to see this thing. You got to get some help from the NFL with this. Because when it goes to 16, there's going to be more than just those first round games are going to be affected by it.
Mm-hmm.
Your thoughts?
You're passionate about this.
Well, I am, because I think it's the NFL and the idea that, okay, we take what we want, we do what we want, and I understand all of that.
Mm-hmm.
But you've got an entire organization that is literally giving you something for free since the advent of your organization. Since the NFL began, they got free labor, free development of players from college football, and have done nothing for it. Nothing. I don't know. You know what? I think there's a guy that probably will understand this and may be on my side with this.
Now, the 2-minute drill. Serviced by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. CoolCatsJacks.com.
The coolest cats in town.
Hayes Carline, the Frangie Show. We're going to get into OTAs real quick. Your thoughts on that? The college football and the fact that the NFL has the Eagles and Commanders. The Eagles and Commanders, Carline, probably a pretty good game. Probably a pretty important game in December. On the same day of the college football playoff first-round games.
Yeah, I get your argument, and it's a good one. I just think the NFL is – well, I do think they're the bully, and I think they're going to be like, look, sorry, but we see value in us having games here as well, and I'm sorry your playoff is going on, and yes, you are the main feeder, but I don't think there's really anything that the colleges could do.
What about my idea of – collectively, every school, FBS and FCS, saying you are not allowed on our campus until you get off that day?
If they could collectively do that, then sure. But you know how it works in recruiting. As soon as Kirby Smart tells the NFL, look, you can't come watch our practice, then Kalen DeBoer is using that on the trail, saying, these NFL guys, they're not going to see if you go to Georgia. I mean, yeah, they'll have your tape, but, I mean, we have NFL scouts through here all the time, getting to know you and things like that. So, it's one of those things that I just think you hope that football has become so huge in this country that they can all do great numbers-wise, and that the direct competition will be, sporadic when it happens. But yeah, I mean, I think college football is going to learn the same lesson that the NBA has learned, and Major League Baseball and golf, moving their playoff up to be done before football. So you just can't. If the NFL wants something, it's going to take it.
I get it. To me, the only difference is college football is actually giving the NFL a product. They're giving it to them for nothing, for absolutely nothing. All right, real quick, first day of OTAs, quick thoughts.
I thought it was a good workout. It was a little sloppy, but it was very hot out. But I liked the tone of the practice. It's purposeful. I like the drills that I saw. So I'm excited about Liam Cohen and his new staff getting a chance to see them work with the full club today for the first time. So yeah, a lot of good stuff. But it was hot, and guys were laboring through at times through a voluntary workout. But I give Liam Cohen credit for that, because it wasn't like he realized, wow, it's pretty hot, maybe we should back off on this. I mean, they did exactly what the schedule called for, and obviously he knows the temperature.
Right.
But I like the fact that it was like, yes, it's hot, yes, it's voluntary, but we're going to push through this. I'm not going to cut practice. We're not going to go in the indoor. We're gonna battle it out, and so yeah, I thought good first impression, and it was a good day. I had a chance to catch up with Tyson Campbell after practice, so we'll play that interview coming up on the Frangie Show, and Frank was out there as well, so we'll have lots of observations for you guys.
Awesome.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it, man.
All right.
Hayes Carline coming up with Frank Frangie on the Frangie Show. That's it, bro. That's a hell of a start to OTAs. I'll tell you that right now. Hell of a start. All right, we got you got the Frangie Show coming next. You got Baloo after that, Hacker after that. A full night of breaking down day one of OTAs. Enjoy it, everybody.
Hey, 10-10, easy, Duval. Let's go, Googans. Blue, 92.5.
Hi, folks, it's Frank Frangie. Look, when it comes to glass needs,